Welcome back, everyone. Let's just dive right into this explainer because today our mission is to uncover a profound biological truth about weight loss. It's honestly something the mainstream fitness industry has just conveniently ignored for decades. We're going to fundamentally change how you think about your own body and actually show you how to redesign their biology from the ground up. Let's get into it. So if you've been dealing with dieting fatigue, I need you to listen closely. You do not have a broken metabolism, and you probably don't even have a slow metabolism either. The truth, your metabolism is simply dormant. We've all been sold this myth that our metabolic rate is just some fixed genetic destiny, but research from places like Stanford University reveals that it is highly malleable. Your metabolism actually has an on switch, and today we are going to flip it. Now, let's think about how we actually burn energy every day. Most of us assume that grinding out an hour at the gym is the ultimate metabolic booster, right? But when you look at the actual energy distribution, dedicated exercise only accounts for about 15% of your daily burn. That massive 65% chunk, that's your basal metabolic rate. That's just the energy your body uses to exist, to keep your heart beating and your organs functioning. And then there's that remaining 20% slice. And let me tell you, this is where the absolute magic happens. Section 1, the secret switch, NEAT. So NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Put simply, it encompasses the energy we expand for literally everything we do that isn't sleeping, eating, or dedicated sports like exercise. Walking to your car, standing at your desk, pacing while you're on the phone, even those invisible everyday micro movements, that is your NEAT. It is the single most powerful metabolic control tool you have, and yet almost nobody tries to optimize it. The really crucial point here is understanding the sheer scale of NEAT. Pioneering research at the Mayo Clinic tracked the real-time movements of lean versus obese individuals, and they found a staggering difference. People with a naturally high NEAT, the ones who seem to eat whatever they want without gaining weight, they are burning up to 2,000 extra calories a day simply through non-exercise movement. 2,000! Let's put that into perspective. Imagine two people, same age, same weight, and they both eat the exact same 2,500 calorie diet. The person who lives a sedentary lifestyle with low NEAT burns maybe 500 extra calories a day. But the person who frequently stands, walks, and fidgets throughout the day, they burn 2,000 extra calories. That is a staggering 1,500 calorie gap every single day. Mathematically, this invisible difference is the equivalent of losing over a pound every few days, literally without ever stepping foot inside a gym. Crazy, right? Section 2, rewiring your biology. Because here's the thing, when you increase your daily movement, you aren't just burning temporary calories, you're triggering a cascading biological mechanism. Recent studies out of Stanford Medicine show that increasing your NEAT sets off 4 distinct biological steps: mitochondria production, a nervous system reset, a hormonal shift, and sustained EPOC. Let's quickly break these down. Step 1 is the mitochondria effect. In your body, demand creates supply. When you sit around all day, your cells register a lack of demand, so they reduce their mitochondrial density. This literally means you are losing your energy factories, which, by the way, is exactly why sitting makes you feel so sluggish. But when you move, even in small ways, you signal to your muscle cells that energy production is critical. And in response, your cells physically rebuild their metabolic engine by producing more mitochondria. Now, what's absolutely fascinating is the hormonal shift. A sedentary body lowers its metabolic set point to conserve energy, but constantly moving, that signals your thyroid to increase hormone production, actually raising your baseline metabolic rate. You also trigger the release of growth hormone, which is crucial because it maintains muscle tissue. And remember, muscle requires about 6 calories per pound just to exist, while fat needs only 2. So by moving, you are literally building a more expensive, calorie-hungry biological machine. And that brings us to the EPOC secret. EPOC stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or what most people just call the afterburn effect. The fitness industry loves to push high-intensity interval training as the only way to get this. But counterintuitively, keeping your body in a continuous state of low-level movement throughout the day creates a much larger cumulative afterburn than one grueling hour at the gym. You're basically never letting your metabolism fully settle into an idling state. Section 3, amplifying the burn. Let's talk about how the laws of thermodynamics apply directly to your diet through the thermic effect of food, or TEF. When you eat, your body expends energy just to digest and process that food. And protein is the absolute star here. Up to 20 to 30% of the calories in protein are burned off just through the digestion process alone.
Carbohydrates sit around 5 to 10%, and fats are basically 0 to 3%. So by eating protein around your periods of movement, you are massively amplifying those metabolic spikes.
Aside from protein, there are a few other secondary amplifiers proven by research to give you an edge. Capsaicin, which you find in spicy foods, boosts noradrenaline, giving you a measurable 3 to 5% metabolism boost. Catechins in green tea promote fat oxidation, basically pushing your body to use fat for fuel instead of storing it. And hydration? Absolutely critical. Being just 1.5% dehydrated can drop your metabolism by up to 3%. Now look, none of these will save a bad lifestyle on their own, but paired with high NEAT, they stack synergistically for some truly incredible results.
Section 4. Designing your daily life.
We have to stop relying on willpower and start relying on environmental friction. Willpower is a finite resource. Honestly, it just gets tired. Rewiring your biology isn't about pushing harder through gritted teeth. It's about actively designing your environment to make sitting difficult and making movement inevitable. So here are some incredibly easy tweaks pulled straight from the source data to help you build a frictionless blueprint. First, take your video meetings standing or walking. Just doing this one thing can burn an extra 800 to 1,200 calories a week. Second, implement what we call movement snacks. Basically, just 2 minutes of walking or stretching every 30 minutes to stabilize your blood sugar. Third, use that environmental friction. Put your water bottle and your phone charger on the other side of the room so you're forced to get up. And lastly, reclaim your unconscious fidgeting. Seriously, that annoying leg bounce, it's actually a calorie-burning superpower. Now, the payoff for all this follows a specific adaptation timeline. It's really vital to understand that neuroplasticity takes time. At 3 to 6 weeks of consistently higher daily movement, measurable neural changes begin. Your nervous system is basically learning that movement is the new normal. By 8 to 12 weeks, the physical transformations become really obvious. And by 6 months, your basal metabolic rate is functionally and permanently boosted by 15 to 25%. Movement simply becomes your body's effortless default state. I absolutely love this summary of the core message. Once your nervous system is rewired, you don't have to suffer. Your biology fights for you, not against you. A fast metabolism isn't just some genetic lottery ticket you missed out on. It's a biological state that you actively build through consistent, frictionless daily habits. When you finally stop fighting your biology and actually start training it, literally everything changes. So here is my final question for you. What environment will you redesign today to stop fighting your biology and let neuroplasticity do the work? Are you going to stand up for your next meeting? Will you finally move your phone charger across the room? The choice to flip your metabolic switch is entirely in your hands, one small movement at a time. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.